Hello, everyone. My name is Ian from XWinner, and just a disclaimer, this is a re-recorded version of my presentation. XWinner is a decentralized, fully on-chain gambling platform, and today I'd like to open up a dialogue about the future of gambling. And before I get started about XWinner, I want to share what the world of gambling looks like in the Web3 space. And so, have you guys heard about Stake.com? It is an online gambling platform that has generated over 2 billion US dollar in revenue last year, and it is already the biggest gambling platform in the world, and of course in Web3. What I'm trying to say is that gambling is a huge industry, with more than 2 billion users around the world covering all regions and markets, growing at a rapid pace at 18% annually. And some of the numbers, right? Um, 25% of gambling payments are done through cryptocurrency, and the transaction volume comes to close to about 24 billion USDT. And around 50% of Bitcoin owners use their Bitcoin for gambling, and this comes to about 24 million users. Crypto users have increased by 1.7 times, and crypto bets have increased by 2.2 times in the recent years. After seeing these numbers, what do you think is the relationship between cryptocurrency and gambling? I think cryptocurrency and gambling are natural partners. So it makes sense that as Web3 becomes more and more developed and more people start entering the Web3 space, naturally gambling will grow in popularity as well. And on top of that, the gambling industry is incredibly resilient. It is one of the few industries that hasn't been stopped growing during the pandemic and the post-pandemic economic turmoil. So everything is looking great for gambling, right? No wonder so many projects are trying to enter the gambling market in the Web3 space. However, I believe there's an obstacle. And the obstacle is just the gamble itself, right? So what do you think about when you hear the word gambling, right? It might be the locations like Macau, Las Vegas. It might be cryptocurrency, the natural partner, or the platforms that has gambling. For example, the stake that I mentioned and Rollbit. But most importantly, it's the issue of transparency and fund securities. And these are all valid concerns, and I think they are all concerns about, at the end of the day, trust in gambling. And I trust this casino to be an honest actor, and then they're not fraudulent and they're not cheating on me. My famous university alumni once said, one of the really tough things is figuring out what questions to ask. Once you figure out the question, then the answer is relatively easy. So I think this is fairly true. It is hard to identify and pinpoint the root of the problem, but once you have identified it, the solution is actually quite straightforward. Then what is the right question to ask in the gambling industry, you might ask? Or what is the root problem in the gambling industry? And to find the problems, we have to look at the development of online gambling and to an extension, Web3 gambling. It all started from gambling platforms accepting crypto as a form of payment after Bitcoin. And we start to see basically same games, same offline casinos, just online and happen to be accepting cryptocurrency. Then smart contracts came along, and we start to see a lot of D-apps, and we start to see a lot of casinos in the form of D-apps. They have managed to add elements of blockchain Web3 technologies into online casinos. A good example is use of hash outcomes for a lot of their gambling games. And today, I would call it Web 2.5 era of game gambling. We see a lot of gambling DApps proactively using blockchain and Web3 technology, such as using smart contracts for fund withdrawals, verifiable and provable outcomes using Chainlink VRF. And while they're integrating all these Web3 technologies, they have managed to package these Web3 elements well enough to provide a very high quality user experience. So even conventional gamblers who are not familiar with blockchain or Web3 can easily interact with their platforms. This means that the gambling industry is fixed, right? I think we're getting there, but we have not solved the essential problems in the industry yet. We have not figured out the how to resolve the fundamental or the root of the problem of the industry. So what are the problems in the industry? First is transparency. A lot of the Web3 gambling platforms out there advertise that they are transparent through various integration of blockchain and Web3 features. And they may have verifiable outcomes and provable outcomes, but still, by large, their parts of their operations are done off-chain. For example, user information, game payout rates, and game logics, they are still locked in their black box. And the second problem is the payout distribution, and I'll label this as a business model problem. The conventional gambling platform, their business model looks something like this. Uh, the platform's ability to generate revenue is heavily reliant on how well they can drain its clients and continuously refill these drained clients with new clients. And this is accomplished by having middlemen who supply different features or different conveniences or different additive elements to the platform to make the user experience slightly better or smoother, or and having marketing agents who funnel new clients into the platform. And I believe that this kind of business model puts the platform and its users on opposing ends, and they're constantly at friction. The casinos are incentivized to come up with creative ways and sometimes unethical ways and questionable ways to extract money from clients. And the clients are incentivized to spend as little money as possible for maximum entertainment enjoyment because they do not believe that the casino has their best interest in mind. And the two problems that I mentioned, and this has been in the industry for a very long time, has gave birth to this negative perception for the entire gambling industry and the term gambling itself. People are usually very skeptical about gambling platforms, and the idea of trust remains as a primary barrier for most people to enter the online gambling scene. And these two numbers really highlight the problem of Web3 gambling right now. It's the user acquisition rate and retention rate. And the problem that I mentioned previously all contribute to Web3 gambling platforms having such a low acquisition and user retention rate. So we're at an interesting point because the market confirms that Web3 gambling, it works, it makes sense because the market is growing at a breakneck speed. But their product model and business model do not address the problems of the gambling industry because they have not shifted away from the traditional gambling fundamentals. They have simply imported the physical casinos onto the internet, and then from the internet, they added some Web3 elements, but they are not native Web3 solutions for the gambling industry's pain points. So what is a native solution? Let's take an example. When internet just became a thing, Yahoo jumped on the trend and became very successful. This was because they brought information widely accessible on the internet, and they were able to, well, and we were, by result, we were able to access news articles or weather information just from our monitors. And soon Yahoo was replaced by Google because Google solved the problem that Yahoo was not able to solve. Google came into the scene with a native internet product, the Google search engine, and added another layer to this. They allowed people to interact with information. And this completely revolutionized the way people retrieve and engage with information. And now search bar is the norm of internet now. So how would a native Web3 product look like for the gambling industry? This is our interpretation of the X winner. I think it should revolutionize how people interact and engage with gambling products. It should provide industry solution using new technologies born out of Web3 and blockchain. And I think that process involves turning Web3 gambling into GambleFi and by adding another layer of interaction into gambling. So because this is our interpretation, our approach is quite different from other Web3 gambling platforms. We provide an alternative approach to gambling, and we do that because we're not simply importing what already existed in casinos from online and returning into Web3. Um, our design from the ground up has started with plans to fully harness the intrinsic characteristic of blockchain. Therefore, we have a product model and business model born out of Web3 and only achievable through being fully on chain. So at XWinner, we develop fund distribution protocols on smart contracts deployed on blockchain that works fully on chain. So what does that mean is that our products are essentially modularized gambling products that can be skinned onto any type of game and deployed on Web3 as native gambling products fully on chain. And this is a lot. So let's break it down with an example. Here's an example of how our fund distribution algorithm looks in a lottery game compared to a conventional system. In the conventional lottery game, the user payback rate is about 65%, meaning that every $1 that a user puts into the platform or the game, they can expect to get 65 cents back. And 10% usually goes to middlemen, the intermediaries, and then 15% goes to market agencies, and the remaining 10% is the platform's revenue. At XWinner, uh, for a lottery game, our user payback rate is about 87%, which is the industry high, and there's no competition. The 67% is the winning payout rate. And in addition to that, we also give our users 20% of the dollar they bet in as user shares. And these shares appreciate in value over time and allowing our users to truly gamble to earn. And this product model or this protocol can be used for games like slots, Wheel of Fortune, and many other games. What we're trying to accomplish is that we have one protocol, one payout distribution model, supported by series of smart contracts, and this protocol can be used by multiple games. And by using one of our product, anybody can develop a casino game that is fully on chain with their own added variations. And we have started to work with other crypto communities like BB to provide them with games that use the native token, further adding utility to their native token. And our business model is slightly different too. With our business model, the focus is three user groups on our platform: the players, the promoters, and the developers. The players get to enjoy a fair and transparent game with higher payback rates, and our cost savings from our product model are passed down to the users, and they contribute to the platform in the form of game transactions. For our promoters, we call them ex-captains. They can establish a passive income channel through our referral program and affiliate program. The combination of our higher payout rate and referral program incentivize our promoters to bring new clients in and promote X-Winners user base growth. And we don't have to put too much marketing budget into it because the users themselves are going to promote our platform to their friends and their family and their communities. And for developers, we provide our API so they can profit off their contribution to the platform. And they will add more variety of games to our platform, including games that are underrepresented in the conventional gambling platforms, games that are more restricted in regions and cultures, some more specialty games that are popular in certain culture over the other. So our business model does not have any internal middleman or marketing agents. They are all part of our ecosystem and part of the X-Winners value chain. Our promoters and developers increase user acquisition, and our product model and higher payout rates increases user retention. The user interactions alone within our platform upholds the operational structure needed for X-Winner to operate as a functioning casino. And meanwhile, this is happening, Xwinner only takes 8% as 8% transaction fee as our revenue. So this is no longer house versus player. On the Xwinner platform, house and the player are together in this and growing the platform together for growth. Our interpretation of GambleFi is the total reconstruction of how values are distributed back to everybody who's involved with the power of blockchain and Web3 technologies. And we turn our users into shareholders, and they automatically receive the fruits of values they generate within the platform. The entirety of fund management, player identity management, game design and logic, game outcome, the payout model, everything is decentralized fully on chain. And with this, we believe that we have addressed the issues that have been plaguing the industry. But our interpretation doesn't mean anything if it doesn't work, right? And you can be the judge. This is the result of our MVP. Over 7 days testing period on the Polygon network. In total, we spent 2,000 USDT in a giveaway promotion on Twitter. And the result was we were able to generate 230K in revenue, 19K in profit with 380 users. This is another result. This is a test result. We have been doing our test net for about 5 to 6 months now, and so far we're able to get about 93K in users. And the thing I mentioned previously about the shares and the gamble to earn, our users were able to get about 8 million USDT in our gamble to earn program, and the commission to promoters, our internal promoters, they were able to earn 2 million USDT. So to talk about our team a little bit more, our team is based out of Vancouver, Canada, and we've labeled ourselves as a team that knows Web3 best in the gambling industry and a team that knows gambling best in the Web3 space. Our founding team has put about $5 million just into this project to get it started off. One of our co-founder has been in the crypto industry since 2014, and he has extensive experience in DeFi. The other co-founder has founded Asia's largest private poker club with annual revenue exceeding 1 billion. And our tech guy, he has been involved in many blockchain projects, and he has done some incredible things, including one of his applications being distributed to 20 million users. But one of our biggest strengths is our market presence. We have more than 40 teams in Southeast Asia, India, and other different places, generating interest and hype for our project. And Xwinner is not stopping here. We aim to become the premier infrastructure provider for any and all Web3 gambling projects in the future. So to make this happen, some of the notable things on our roadmaps are, first, we want to expand the game varieties that we offer on our platform and also increase the licenses so we can operate in more regions. But in addition, we want to have CCIP, layer 2, ZK Wasm to increase the flexibility of our game designs, and for us to also provide our software as a service and also act as an in-game live game data oracle for other platforms that happen to be gambling to use our game data to make better decisions or provide better user experience. Web3 is a tool, and how successful we can be depends on how well we use it to improve our world. I believe that we are at a crossroad. We have the opportunity to guide what the future of gambling will be. And our team is confident that we are the only project out there directly addressing the critical issues the gambling industry is facing right now. With our transformative product and business model, we believe that we can set a new standard for the gambling industry. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to contact us through my Telegram and our official Twitter account. Thank you. Ciao.